Yo, still Bills, what's the deal, man? I'm back, man. I'm fresh off the clock. I'm exhausted, man. Exhausted. And it didn't really hit me until later on in the day. I didn't think I would end up being this tired for the day, but after my surgery, I got to take, I told my coach, I want to say the week before last, I got a surgery coming up, so I'll more than likely miss all of this week. I told him this 2 weeks ago, but I don't want to take the whole week off, so I'm gonna take, I'll see how I'm feeling on Tuesday. If I'm good on Tuesday, after tomorrow, I'll go back Wednesday and Thursday. But doctors told me take a week off for doing shit, but I feel good. I'm not in as much pain as I figured I would be, man. So I might go back later on this week, or I might just take the whole week off. But peep game, man. I want to talk about something, man. And I spent not all, but a lot of Saturday dissecting this Brian Norman and Devin Haney situation, and I'm just like this, man. I can't get jiggy with these Haneys, bro. That's what this shit really just boils down to. I don't like how they went on, they've been trying to go on, not even trying, how they went on, like the Boxing Voice in particular, and tried to spread this false propaganda. Not even they're not spreading the false propaganda, but some shit is real indirect, and you got to be able to read between the lines to dissect the bullshit that they trying to say. And the fact that they will go and look to push for him to enroll in Nevada testing 2 weeks out before that they were scheduled to originally do it at, I just think that was some unnecessary bullshit. And if we being real, it was a means for them to get out of the way of fighting. Like they're gonna do just a lot of times they're not gonna say directly I don't want to fight, so they'll look for they'll say we just gonna back out of the fight because we just not ready for this fight mentally. It's these real sleight of hand trick shit that they'll do where, they'll play these charades and these mind games and to try to like muddy the waters or whatever and aggravate you to the point where you just say, you know what, I'm cool, and just remove yourself from the situation and wash your hands of it. I think they were looking for something like that to happen. So they could say, all right, cool, well, shit, they ain't had no look at how they acted. We just simply asked for them to enroll in VADA testing at, right now. You know what I'm saying? Why would they have such a problem with rolling in VADA right now if they don't got nothing to hide? You dig? So they're already kind of setting the stage to turn this dude into some sort of drug cheat or whatever the case may be, as a contingency plan if Brian Norman goes in there and does what I think he's going to do to him. And I just think that shit is corny, man. Like Brian Jr. was 150% right when he said, man, listen, dog, I don't know about y'all, but when I'm on vacation, I'm on vacation. I'm not thinking about work. I deal with work-related shit when I get back to the office. Until then, I'm chilling. So you're not finna sit here and hinder me about some shit that's work-related. I will deal with that when I get back. And throughout that interview, that whole 8-hour segment with Brian Sr. and Bill getting on back and getting off. Brian Sr. was like, I don't have an issue with doing it right now, but that Junior is his own man. Despite him sharing my name, he's his own man, and he's saying I do that shit when I get back. If it was up to me, I'd do it, but you got to take it. You got to take that shit up with him. And would it build? Oh, we're no longer interested then, man. I just think that shit is corny, man. First off, the thing is this, bro. If it was me, right? Because I'm not an aggressive dude. I'm not no aggressive ass nigga. Where I have my moments where I'll be like, man, who the fuck you think you talking to, bro? Like, you got me fucked up. I have my moments when I get like that. But that shit is so outside of my character that it takes a lot for me to for you to get that type of response out of me. I'm just a dude who likes to go along with the get along or whatever the case may be for the most part. But everybody has that point where it's like, nah, man, you rubbing me the wrong way by what you saying and you pissing me off, you triggering me. So a nigga like me would have possibly been like, all right, yo, man, whatever the fuck ever, bro. Whatever the fuck ever. I'm telling you, I'm gonna go because I do my best to circumvent controversy and bullshit. So just with my character, I'd be like, all right, man, whatever. All right, cool. We can do that shit right now. I ain't tripping. But I also understand what Brian is saying, bro. Like, nigga, no, I'll do that shit when I get back, bro. This shit is coming off as if you Debo status. You dig? You Don Vito Corleone or some shit like that. You gonna get down or lay down like you Beans from State Property. Do as you're told. You got me fucked up. Like, shit like that. Shit like that. Do it like, you know, just a man. You still gotta respect manhood at the end of the day. You still gotta respect the male ego, the pride that comes intact with being a man, a grown ass man. You gotta respect that. And when a motherfucker go out there with to disrespect that shit, this is, you know, you know, hey. So I'm 150% on the Norman side. Because I think that shit was really unnecessary. I think it was childish. I think it was them trolling. Is it them trolling? Possibly. But I don't know if it's them trolling. I was hoping, I was feeling like they looking for a way to get out of the fight. And I think that shit is lame. I think that shit is real lame. How you gonna sit there, do as you told and get on it, you know, like you barking or whatever, and the nigga just supposed to bow down to you because you say, like, first off, let's do this. And, you know, when Brian Norman said, all right, cool, we'll go to Turkey and tell him that y'all are backing out of the fight. Go to him and tell him that. Go tell Turkey that y'all are backing out of the fight. That right there is exactly what needed to be said, because Bill is of this mindset. And that's another, even Brian Senior was like, man, stop with the backhanded compliments like y'all doing us a favor or whatever. Like, stop with the backhanded bullshit. Don't give us a compliment and then, you know, just that I know your game, dog, and you bullshitting. You keep playing games. You just this little snooty bullshit that you doing is corny as fuck. There's the lamest shit in the world. Stop with the backhanded compliments, dog. Like, we not here for that. It's boxing. This is business. Let's get this business over the line, man. Don't insult me in tandem with giving me a compliment, bro. I'm not going for it. I'm picking up everything you putting down and it's triggering me. Fuck out of here. But y'all keep talking as if y'all these niggas who are like, as if y'all are giving a nigga a shot. In all actuality, your stock is down. Your stock is down. You just went in there and got hit with the same left hand from a very underdeveloped fighter who couldn't even set that shot up properly. I mean, not set it up properly, but doesn't have a multitude of sophisticated ways to set it up. He was just spamming it. You went in there, you got laid down by him. Was he on PEDs? Yeah, he was. But goddamn, you can't find a way to neutralize the left hand. You did a good job doing it from rounds 2 to 7. Now, but after 7, now all of a sudden you can't find a way to get around the left hand, whatever the fuck ever. So you go from that to having a fight with Jose Ramirez, and you can't you can't pull the trigger in front of him. And you're tied, or you're one of the top 3 fighters that throw the, you know, have the lowest output in the entire history of CompuBox. That shit is disgusting. So let's not sit here and act like you don't need him as much as he needs you. Your stock is at an all-time low. His last fight was put on World Star Hip Hop. As compared to yours, whose was, you know, you was goddamn put on motherfucking, you know, all-time lowest punch output, or top 2, top 3. That shit is sad. So stop with all that bullshit like you giving a nigga, you know, you giving a nigga a lookout, but for wanting to fight me. But stop talking like it's DHP that's putting up the money to fund this fight. My nigga, y'all are not footing the bill. Y'all are not footing the bill. This is Turkey. Turkey's money is going to this fight. Turkey is the one who's paying for this fight. Not no fucking Bill and Devin Haney. So get, you know, all this talking like y'all got this bag or whatever to put up on back. No, y'all don't. Y'all don't. Y'all are the same niggas who got mad when Eddie Hearn didn't bid on your fight with. I forget who the fight was that you were supposed to fight and Eddie Hearn didn't bid on it. Y'all got mad at him. Where's this money from DHP? So don't sit up here and come and, you know what I'm saying, like, I'm like a nigga supposed to bow down to you. You dig? I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit. So you take all that shit, the fact that you had the performance that you had in Madison Square, in Times Square, you take that and all the other little sucker shit that you did last year, and you go and you tell Turkey we backing out of the fight because he doesn't want to go on Nevada testing before the date of enrollment, you know, is set in play. He doesn't want to do that, so we just gonna go. Do you think Turkey Al-Sheikh would have been on the up and up when he would have took your side? You think you'd have said, oh yeah, I understand it, I understand it, I understand. No, bro, no, because you going against the grain, you going against protocol. Now, granted, he did it. I don't think he should have did it personally, because you ain't got nowhere to go. You ain't got nowhere to go. You versus Richardson Hitchin is not no fight. That's not no fight that motherfuckers is clamoring to see. If you go, and even then, he's at 140. You a welterweight now. You gonna get in there with Gaiasov? I don't think so. I don't think so. You gonna get in there with Rashidi Ellis? I will hope not. That's not a fight that's aesthetically pleasing. You gonna get in there with Blair Cobbs? That for the price point you want for a fight, that's not gonna generate no type of money. What the no? Oh, Blair Cobbs. No. So who do you have? Who do you have? Who you got in the scope that would have been a better option for Turkey to pay you properly than a Brian Norman Jr.? But for whatever reason, he didn't see it like that, and he went. All right, cool, whatever, I'll do it. But I really wish he wouldn't have, man. I wish that I could say y'all dads need to step the fuck back and let these boys be the men that y'all raised them to be. But you're accommodating your dad in the bullshit because you getting on Twitter tweeting out dumb shit as well. Just everything about you that has led up to this point, bro. Like, yeah, I don't like your reputation is in the mud right now. You look like a sucker. You got cheated and motherfuckers is feeling some type of way about you. What does that say about you? Where there's no sympathy being shown towards you from a dude who is a clear as that, there is undisputed evidence that this dude popped dirty for Pez. And niggas still chose to side with him as opposed to being sympathetic towards you. What does that say about you? Just breathe on that for a minute. You get in a fight at the fair, don't beat the nigga up. I salute you for swinging on him though, because if he did what it is that you said he did, I salute anybody who does that. No non-black person should be saying the word nigga. You swung on him, salute to you for that. I commend you and I support you for that. But then you turn around and you sue Ryan for assault and battery, bro. That's just some shit that is just unforgivable. That's some sucker shit, some busted shit. I don't give a fuck what you and they said that they've used that as a tool to get a rematch. All right, cool, whatever the fuck ever. But sue that nigga for something else. That's always been my thing. Sue him for something else. You do not sue a fighter for assault and battery. You do not sue another fighter, another pugilist for assault and battery. You just don't do that. And not expect to get respect. I'm not respecting none of that shit. That shit with that you and Young Thug's ex or whatever the case may be, you just you look like damn, you's a simp ass nigga. And now you got this situation now where Shorty trying to put these domestics on you and everything. It's like, bro, everything about your life at this point in time in the boxing public is skewed your fucking your attraction to the fans. Niggas don't give a fuck about you. And you still playing these games like you that nigga or whatever, man. So you get like you in your mind because you're undisputed, you're former undisputed, you're a 2-division champion, you fought the better opposition between the two of y'all. You can just go in here and tell a nigga to do what the fuck you want to tell. Nah, man, that's just not how it go. That shit is dead. That shit is dead. It worked, unfortunately, because I think Brian should have stood 10 toes down. But that shit is corny, man. You don't talk to no dude like that. You do what you're told and all that sucker shit. And you trying to set a precedence to where Brian Norman is going to be deemed a drug cheat if he goes in there and he beats you. That's corny. That's corny as fuck. And I don't think, at some point, you got to start doing something to appease the fans. You gotta do something to let the fans know, all right, man, I'm going to make this shit right. You are not a villain. You are not a villain. That is not your role. I'm not a villain. So I'm not throwing no shots and no shade or nothing like that when I say that. But I don't like this mindset that I'm gonna be the villain. Yeah, man, I'm gonna make the fans pay to see me lose. Y'all keep trying to take these cues out of Floyd Mayweather's approach to as far as marketing is concerned, and none of you niggas are Floyd. Y'all are not Floyd from a talent level. Y'all are not Floyd from a marketing level. Y'all are not that nigga. Be you. It's as simple as that, man. But, just this past week, it just really just pissed me off just watching how you move, man. You on your pot. And it's, father-son duels can be a beautiful thing, because in Black America, within the up until I want to say the maybe last 7 years or so, it was so common to come across I was one of maybe 2 or 3 people in my neighborhood who had two-parent households. That is a very grim reality that we face in Black America, man. Just destitute of black fathers in the household. They strung out, they drunks, they swerves, they in the streets, they in the they locked up. One of my young homies ain't need his pops till he hit the yard, bro. That shit is brazy. So it's dope to see that shit, man. It's really a beautiful thing to see that shit. Go ahead, my nigga. It's really a beautiful thing to see that shit, man. But it's situations like this where it's like you don't wish that it didn't happen. You would just wish that, yo, man, just shut the fuck up. I want to be celebratory of the fact that a black father is standing next to his black son. I want to champion that. I want to love that. I want to revere that. I want to salute that, man. But when you do sucker shit like this, buster shit like this, it's hard to. Like, man, I'm cool on y'all niggas, brody. Y'all some cornballs to me. And that, that was the corniest shit in the world, man. How you gonna make a nigga sign up for VADA testing or whatever? 2 weeks before the set date, the date is already set. Man, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, bro. I don't know how you go about, rebuilding your reputation in the, in the eye of the public, bro. But you wait, even if you beat Brian Norman Jr., man, niggas is not gonna celebrate that. Niggas is not gonna celebrate that. Why? Because you still are moving like a buster. You can go in there and win. Even if you do beat them, we know how you're gonna beat them, and it's going to be in the same type of fashion that you beat everybody else in. You can't beat him like you beat Regis Prograis. You can't do to him what you did to Lomachenko. You can't beat him in these manners, or you can't beat him like you beat Regis, because he's bigger than Regis. He hits harder than Regis. I think he's better from a tactician standpoint than Regis. You can't beat him like you fought Lomachenko, because a lot of people, myself included, feel that you lost that fight. You can't plant your feet in front of Brian Norman. This is a way bigger dude, separated by 2 divisions and 12 pounds. So if you do beat this dude, you're gonna have to pack in here, pack, rap, stay on the outside. 45 seconds of you just moving around the damn ring, not swinging, making him miss, and not even making him pay. Occasional jab here. That's how you're gonna win the fight, if you win the fight. And that is not gonna rise your stock. You'll be a pound for pound, but motherfuckers are gonna be like, man, this dude is. I'm cool on watching this nigga fight. So I'm just. You look like a sucker right now, man. You look like a sucker right now. You do. Everything about you is just corny shit, man. Cornball behavior. Cornball behavior. And it's I would not be surprised if you pull another stunt to where you're trying, to where you're trying to get out of the fight. I would not be surprised if you do that. I would not be surprised if you do some bullshit to where you're looking to get out of the fight. It's something corny. I wouldn't doubt it, because I think this was the start. And y'all, training camp ain't even started between the 2 of y'all. We are 3 months out from the fight. 4 months. We still 4 months out from the fight, because it's not even the 24th of July. It's the 21st, 2025. So we 4 months out from the fight, and you doing busted shit like this before we even go into training camp. You're gonna do some dumb shit again, some cornball bullshit again, and it's gonna look real funny style. It's gonna look real funny style. I'm cool on them Haneys, bro. What the fuck is this? I'm cool on them Haneys. I'm all the way cool. I'm all the way cool. I wonder what the next stunt is gonna be, because y'all are gonna pull one in the next 4 months. And I'm gonna be right back on here telling y'all I told y'all so. Prove a nigga wrong, please prove me wrong, but I just don't see it happen. I just feel like y'all gonna do some sucker shit again and look for a way to get out of the fight, because I think you know what's coming, man. So that's all I gotta say about it, man. I'm going in the house to kick my feet up for a minute before I cut my grass, y'all. Doses.